So that was, I was debating while waiting for my peers to do their pieces, and I was like, should I start with that? Maybe, yeah. And it's one of those things, like, it's just to be courageous enough to say, what if? And that's part of what the topic of what I'm talking about today is action, right? Action. Always eliminate what ifs. So I was like, well, what if I do this song? What if I don't? I took the action and I did it. We see the result. I did it, right? Despite, the little technicalities or whatever. You jump out there and you have to do things sometimes with action. So, to be the change, right? It's like the subtitle of what I'm talking about. It's the bigger picture of what we're talking about here this morning. To be, when I think about it, be is an action. People don't usually think about the word be as an action. But if I tell you to be silly, it requires you to follow something after that, right? To be silly, all right? It's an action. It requires you to do something, right? Be angry. Everybody can do that. Be hungry, or you can act hungry, right? You can be hungry. But any of those things, be. Be an MC. That's what I was. That's what I am. That's what I did. Be. It required an action. All right? The action will eliminate the what if. What if I? What if I? When you do the thing, when you be, right? When you do the action, you eliminate the whole what if. Because now you go to a what now. You go to what now? What if? To the action, and it's like, well, what now? So we talk about being. I am a few things. I'm a hip-hop producer, I'm a poet, I create jewelry, I'm an artist, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, like I'm all these things that I be. I be those things. I know that's not correct English, but I am those things, right? So I'm an artist though. So I want to share with you how I became an artist. Am I hitting the right slide? Nope. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Is it coming in? Should I stop pressing that button?
Yeah, stop pressing.
Okay. So this is me. All right, this is me probably around age 8 or 9. And behind me is a piece of artwork that I have no idea where it is. It was long gone, I'd imagine. But it was some art. That's part of my artwork there. Not too happy looking. And at that time in my life, though, my parents were separated. And that was like the last time that I had a household with my mom and dad in it. So I'd imagine that's probably, or I was told to wash dishes, I don't know. I don't know what that face was from, but that's me. Do I have this thing backwards? Jeez. All along. It's me. My bad. Okay. Yeah, it was upside down. Okay. So, this is my artwork. This is my artwork from when... Can't believe I was going back. This is my artwork here. At that same age, when I was around 8 years old. I still have it. It's preserved, it's in pretty good condition. It is not framed. It's one of the things I keep procrastinating that. So I have to, put this into a frame, but I'm very proud of this work. It was one of the first and last works that I did as a visual piece with my dad. So around that time, I was jumping between households, staying with my dad on weekends here and there. So, huge leap. I want to speed through this. Huge leap between what I just showed you at 8 years old, to this, which was probably about 2015. So there's a wide gap in between there. And during this time that I'm kind of just, going along, going through high school, going through college, trying to find my way, figure out what I'm going to be. And there became a time where I wasn't creating any work at all. I became an art teacher, most recently, probably about 6, 7 years ago. I became an art teacher, which was wonderful. It seemed like the ideal thing for me. But during those 5 years, I did not get a chance to actually create work of my own. I had several videos, music videos. Anais was in one of my music videos. And I was going on the path where I thought I was, where I felt that I was at home with, the thing that I was supposed to become. Circumstances turned and changed, and that rap career, I had to go and provide for my family in the more traditional way. So during those 5 years, people were like, oh, you're an artist, man. I mean, you're an art teacher. You get to do art all the time. I'm like, no, I get to teach art all the time. I don't get to do art all the time. I didn't get to do it. So a friend of mine, this is an Instagram screenshot actually, a friend of mine says, hey, you haven't drawn in quite a long time. I need you to draw, and I need you to be accountable to me by posting it and tagging me in it every day. So it says 5-day sketch a day challenge from Dana, who's my buddy. I'm on it. I spent 15 minutes on it, whatever. So I drew this, the first picture that I started drawing again. The doing, right? The doing, taking the action. And I shared it. Even though I didn't want to share it, that was shared on January 30th, 2015. And the picture, if you can, it's really small, but it says too many fingers. I drew 6 fingers on it. Because I don't use pencils. I don't use any erasers. In life, you don't get to use erasers, right? You have to just be kind of confident in what you put down on that paper, the decisions you make. So that's the first piece that I drew there. And then every day, basically what it turned into, when you're talking about becoming, right? Being, taking an action, being an artist. If you're going to be something, you need to be doing that thing too. The be and the do come together. So in order for me to be an artist, I had to do art. So every day, I started to do art. Every day. And we're talking 500 days straight, I posted my artwork. So what's turned into 1 day posting it for Dana, to 5 days posting it for Dana, I started posting them for myself. 500 days straight. And there's more than that, but I stopped posting it at 500 because I was like, well, I think I've proven to myself who I am. I think I've proven to myself what I want to be, what I want to do. So these are just a screenshot of some of them. So again, every day, black and white art, loaded up on Instagram, loaded up on Facebook, and it wasn't for any other thing but to prove to myself about commitment. Commitment to the thing you want to become, commitment to the thing you want to be. Then, all of that work was recognized. It was acknowledged. Again, that wasn't the intention. It was the exercise of me doing something. And the Western New York Book Art Center contacted me and said, hey, we're really admiring your work. We've been watching you, 500 something days, 2 years or so, right? Almost 2 years. Would you want to do an art show, a solo art show? I was like, yeah, I didn't plan on that, but absolutely, sure. So it ended up having this incredible, fabulous art show, man. And things just continue snowballing for me staying committed in doing the thing, taking the action. What if I draw every day? Okay, what now? Again, what if? What now? And that's all that I did was continue to persevere and continue to draw. So while doing that, I met a guy named Nick. And Nick saw my artwork. He was like, dude, you need to go big. I want to see your work really big. I said, well, I don't know how to do that. And he said, I do. I'm a muralist. This is what I do. I'm like, sweet. Again, what if I do it big? Okay. He gave me opportunity, so it was like, what now? Show me. And so this is the very first piece that I've done at that scale. Like I just took this rooster, chicken, no-foot thing that I was drawing on paper, and he showed me how to put it up on the wall to do it in larger scale. So you see the progression, just from starting out on a piece of paper, the commitment to doing the thing, and being to this, which led to this. Now jumping, because we only have a little bit of time here, that wall, right, to that, was only in a matter of months. This is the Freedom Wall. Is anybody familiar with the Freedom Wall? Okay, so the Freedom Wall is on the corner of Michigan and Ferry. It's 28 dignitaries of civil rights and human rights leaders, 14 local, 14 national. And this opportunity was given to me by Albright Knox. And again, I didn't see that coming, but I'd imagine that had I not shared my artwork, had I not done the work, had I not taken the action, I probably would not have had this opportunity. It was over the summer, last summer. I don't know if you recall. It was 80s, 90s, pretty regularly, really dry, not a lot of rain. We were out there in that entire time. And that hat did not do much work for me. I tried to shield myself as best I could. It did not work too well. So this here is the wall on Ferry, Michigan, right? Pre-Freedom Wall. So again, actions eliminate what ifs, which is what I'm talking about. So the what if is, what if we did some work on that wall? What if we left that wall that way? Up until we did the Freedom Wall, that wall was pretty much invisible. If I said, hey, meet me at the wall on Michigan and Ferry, people would say, what wall? The wall was erected in 1989. It just became a part of the landscape. Okay? So the what if, the dream, then became that. It's the same wall. The exact same wall. Right? The vision, taking the action. What if we do it? Let's take all these vines down. Let's prime it. Let's get 4 artists that are going to do the wall justice. Same thing. What if? Corner of Ferry, Michigan. Harriet Tubman Way. Same wall. It is transformed. It is transformed by taking a step, taking an action, imagination, doing the work. So I had the opportunity to do 7 pieces. William Wells Brown, W.E.B. Du Bois, Malcolm X, Frank Merriweather, Dr. Lydia T. Wright, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Harriet Tubman. The last being Harriet Tubman, which is, I won't say is my favorite, but I'll end with Harriet Tubman. What if Harriet Tubman had not had the courage? What if she would have accepted her life as it was imposed to her, what her life should have been? What if? What if? Would I be here talking to you today? What if she took an action? And then she took several actions. The repetition, doing it over and over again. I don't need to tell you what she did. Everybody in here should know what she did. Her face, her mission is ubiquitous. The what if, she took the action, and she took it several times. And with those actions, there was severe penalty and risk. Severe penalty and risk of death. So I share with you that the things that you want to do, the things that you want to be, the actions you want to take, I'm sure they come with less penalty and less fears than that. And that's what I learned in doing the work at the wall. Because I was fearing judgment. What if it doesn't look like the people? What if people drive by and don't like my work? What if? That was a very small fear. That's something I had to get over by doing the work. And once I started nailing each and every one of them, I became more confident. So the same thing with you through repetition. Decide what you want to do. Decide who you want to be. You have to take the action because there's a difference between a dream and a goal. And I hope that everyone knows that, particularly speaking to the young. There's a difference between a dream and a goal. How many people have made a wish in the last couple of days or so? Wish for something. I have. Now here's the thing. A wish requires that you wait. You just wish it. Now if you make it into a goal, it requires that you go and do something. So we can wish all we like, but you make that thing into a goal, you take that dream and make it into a goal, because a dream is just something you wish for. That's it. A goal is something you work towards. So make sure that you take the actions to eliminate the what ifs. The what ifs are good, but make sure you take the action and you become a what now question. So let's step into what nows. All right? And my bad on flipping this thing upside down. Yeah.